Alright, we're gonna get started here, and I'm gonna do something a little different, because we're gonna try this with a soundtrack today. So, let's see, there we go. Hey! Oh no, the door's open, hold on! Hello. Alright, so I'm gonna be trying this tonight with a soundtrack going. So I got my extra fluffy hair going on today just because I'm being a little lazy, so who cares. But let me see how I'm doing here. I'm trying this tonight with a soundtrack going. So I got my extra fluffy hair going on today. Looks like it might be alright. Yeah, man. Alright. So you got some music going. Got my earpiece in so I can listen. And, let's do this, right? So tonight, we are talking about Zur the Enchanter. Doing my Magic the Gathering, commander deck. I always get these cameras sideways. Of Zur. So let's get a better look at that, get the right camera going here. I even got the colors to match, look at that. So here we're doing Zur the Enchanter, and I'm also trying something new tonight. I am streaming on YouTube and Mixer and Twitch all at the same time. So hopefully this thing works for everybody. We'll see what happens. But Zur the Enchanter, for he's a 1/4 flyer, but whenever he attacks, you can search your library for an enchantment card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it on the battlefield. If you do, shuffle your library. This guy apparently, I didn't know, but apparently he's considered one of the top tier commanders, I guess. I don't know, I just saw him, I thought he looked fun, so I decided to make a deck around it. So, I'll actually show you one of the cards right away that spawned the idea for this deck. And let me find it. I got to do some random shenanigans that that I haven't thrown into a deck before. So, let's see. Where is it? So this thing, okay. This was the thing that spawned the idea for making the whole entire deck. It's Illness in the Ranks. Creature tokens get -1/-1. I was always getting wrecked by token decks, and I got sick of everybody using Edgar Markov and making all these vampires and wrecking everybody's day. So I'm like, I gotta find a way to use this thing and shut people down. And I have yet to play it. I have yet to need it either, so, but that's what kind of inspired this whole deck, was having this card in there, and I figured out Zur would make an awesome commander for that, so I went with it. And here's what we came up with. By the way, stay tuned to the end of this, because I will be doing some deck tech work, and changing some stuff up in the deck, and I'm gonna need you guys' suggestions, so stay for that at the end, or comment on the video at the end, because this will be up on YouTube as well in the end. So we're gonna start with, we got a bunch of cycling lands. We got a Drifting Meadow, a Remote Isle, and a Polluted Mire. The old ones that give you the white, blue, black, and pay 2 and cycle. So we got the old school cycling lands. We got some newer cycling lands, Barren Moor, Lonely Star, and a Secluded Steppe, which only cost 1 of each color to cycle. Reason I put in a bunch of cycling lands, the 6 cycling lands, is because I would always get bogged down with drawing lands. The deck does not need very many lands to get going, so cycle them away to draw some better cards. Then I did some color fixing. Let me do this real quick. Telling my telling my wife to check out the stream to tell me how the music is going and if this is working out all right. Because again, I'm always doing stuff new, always trying to find ways to improve my channel. So yeah, doing things different all the time. So put in Vivid Creek and Vivid Marsh. These two come into play tapped. They add 1 blue or 1 black, but then they come in with 2 counters on it, and you can remove one of those counters to give you any color mana. So there's some good mana fixing there. I've actually ended up liking a lot of those Vivid cards. I'm using them in a lot of different decks now, and they come in real handy, real fast. I like it. And of course, Command Tower for any color. There we go. Then we got a couple of dual lands in here. We got, you know, Dismal Backwater, Tranquil Cove, and Scoured Barrens to give me dual color mana. When they come into play tapped, and you gain a life. Life gain was actually a big part of this deck, so I do have some good life gain stuff in the deck. This is one of my few foreign cards. I actually found this like in a random store, in a random box for like a penny. This is a what is it called? Hidden Entrance, Hidden Passage. So it comes into play, taps for colorless mana, or you pay 4, tap it, and make a creature unblockable till end of turn. So commander damage. I do kill people a lot of times with commander damage in this deck, so unblockable works out good. We get into the basic lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 islands. You can tell I've won a couple times. So this is actually from a I think a pre-release tournament. And I like to put a lot of these. If you notice, a lot of my lands in this deck are actually from Portal. Something about the Portal design. I really liked the design of the Portal cards. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like at a different border than even some of the other ones, but it was when they first started printing lands with just the big mana symbol in there, and I've always liked it. So I started collecting a lot of these. I just, at pre-releases, I find them in the box and I run with it. But I've been using that a lot, and I like the art on them. They look good. Just always like the design of them. So what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. 8 islands. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plains. I did win with the deck there that day. I need to play this deck more often, because I do have fun with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 swamps. And then, for protection, old school from the dark, Maze of Ith. I like the original one. It looks like a brain versus how they did the new ones, but I'll take a foil Maze of Ith. Sure, man. Whoever wants to give me one, I'll take it. So that's the land base right there. We're going to move Zur out of the way. We're going to move all these lands out of the way. And then start getting into the fun stuff. Again, at the end of this, I'm going to do some switching out of cards. So stay tuned and help me decide what to take in, what to put in, what to take out. I can use a little bit of feedback there from you guys. And heck, whoever's there, thanks for tuning in so far. I don't remember where I put that in the list, so we'll just put it at the bottom. Alright. So first we start out with some artifacts. We got just a bunch of artifact mana, Felwar Stone. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any type that an opponent's land can produce. Play this ability as a mana source. Well, duh. It's mana. So Felwar Stone. Orzhov Signet. Pay 1, tap it, add white and black to my mana pool. There's another Signet. Pay 1 to make white and blue. So those have actually helped me quite a bit in games when I've been mana screwed, having the wrong colors and still been able to cast Zur. So that's worked out well. A few key runes here. Got the white blue, the white black, and the blue black. So I got all 3 color combinations in there, and they turn into creatures. So this one will turn into a 2/2 white and blue bird artifact flyer. This will turn into a 1/4 black thrall with lifelink, and this will turn into a unblockable 2/2. I've never even paid attention to that. You can tell how often I've used those abilities. So a few of those, and I like the key runes because they come into play and you can use them for mana right away. So essentially they only cost you 2 mana, even though the casting cost is 3, but just because you can use it right away. So good mana fixing right there. We'll put that to the side. Get into some of the more fun cards. Alright, let's see. So this is the destruction cards. Kinda have it into categories a little bit. So, alright. So, Karmic Justice, it's a fake one right here. I have not found a real one in town yet. Kind of a hard card to find, but whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that opponent controls. This is on the chopping block. I have not really used that ability very much, so we're just going to put that there. Tainted Ether. Whenever a creature comes into play, its controller sacrifices a creature or land. Really messes up token decks. Really messes up people that like flash everything into play and just attack out. And you'll see why it really wrecks people's days later, coming after me. No Mercy. Whenever a creature successfully deals damage to you, destroy it. Haven't had this hit the board yet, but I definitely know that that's good protection and destruction. My old revised Wrath of God. Bury everything. Winds of Wrath. Destroy all creatures with no enchantments on them. Those creatures cannot be regenerated this turn. Well, a lot of my creatures are enchanted, especially Zur, because again, I'm enchanting them, buffing them up, doing the commander damage, so I'm killing everything on the board except for my stuff. Awesome. Catastrophe. Destroy all lands or all creatures. Creatures destroyed this way cannot be regenerated. I usually use this as a Armageddon and destroy all lands, but it's good to have the option of going either direction with it. Destroying all lands, again making it so that they can't come after me. And here's another destroy all lands. Cleansing, another old dark card. All lands are destroyed. Players may prevent cleansing from destroying specific lands by paying 1 life for each land they want to protect. Effects that prevent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. Gotta love the old wording. It's just so much extra junk in there. So this I have more in there as a damage spell, because nobody in the group plays cleansing. I don't think anyone in the group has cleansing or has even thought about playing this card, but I've mainly used it for damage. And hell, if it destroys all their land, that's fine too, because they won't be able to get to me. And while I'm on the subject of them not being able to get to me, it's because I'm running propagandas. Each turn, each creature cannot attack you unless its controller plays an additional 2 for each creature. Okay? And my custom ghostly prison that I made myself. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature he or she controls that's attacking you. Ghostly prison, get it? Ghostbusters Ghost Trap. I got the little Ghostbuster symbol right there in the corner. I actually did print this on a real card, so awesome. I love that. Everybody that sees this card is like, how did you get that? I want one. So That's why I have land destruction in there, because eventually no one can get to me. And I have artifacts giving me mana anyway, so who cares? Alright, let's get some of the random fun stuff. So I'm wiping the boards, so of course Animate Dead, my old revised Animate Dead. I'm gonna not read all these words because there's just too much on the old Animate Dead, but it brings something back from the graveyard with a -1, -0 counter on it. Awesome. All enchantments. Dance of the Dead. It's from Ice Age. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control tapped, with a +1/+1 counter. Treat that creature as though it were just summoned. The creature does not untap during its controller's untap phase. At the end of his or her upkeep, its controller may pay an additional 1 colorless and 1 black to untap it. If Dance of the Dead is removed, bury the creature in its owner's graveyard. That's a lot of words. So it's an Animate Dead that taps a creature, gives it +1/+1, and it's got a 2 mana untap. Okay. So Animate and Necromancy. You may choose to play Necromancy as an instant. If you do, bury it at end of turn. When you play Necromancy, choose target creature card in any graveyard. When Necromancy comes into play, put that creature into play as though it were just played, and Necromancy becomes a creature enchantment that targets the creature. If Necromancy leaves play, bury the creature. So again, wiping the board, taking back what I want. If they're doing weird indestructible stuff, that's what we got Cyclonic Rift for. Return target non-land permanent you don't control the owner's hand, or if you overload it, bounce everybody else's stuff to their hand. I've yet to play Cyclonic Rift since I have owned it, which has been about a year. So I'm waiting for that to happen one day. Another good one, Evacuation. Return all creatures to owner's hand. I actually had a game last weekend. My friend was running away with the game. He was playing a Rats deck, and he played a bunch of stuff, attacked, of course, me because I was starting to control the board pretty bad, and bounced everything to his hand. And the guy on the other side of the table, he had a suspended, I forget the name of the card, but it was suspended Wheel of Fortune, and it was going to go off the next turn, so I evacuated. He dumped his entire hand, and we all drew 7 new cards, and I got rid of his entire playboard. So that was fun, because that's an instant. Now we get into some of the power-ups. So, Unholy Strength. Target creature gets +2/+1. This is the old unlimited printing. You can tell because it has the pentagram in the background. This was a controversial card when Magic first came out, because of the pentagram in there. They were all like, oh, satanic, Magic is satanic, blah blah blah. So in later printings and every other printing of this card, they took that out, and it's just the guy laying there like that. So this is the old unlimited print. Neat little story behind it. Ethereal Armor. Okay, so what I'm showing you here are things that I mainly put on my Anzur for that commander damage boost. Ethereal Armor, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. I never realized that gave him first strike, so that's pretty awesome. Vow of Duty. People are always like, why the hell are you playing this? It's a good pump spell, enchantment for 3 or less mana, which I get again on Zur's attack trigger. So why wouldn't I do it? Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, has vigilance, and can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. Well, if I'm putting it on my own guy, doesn't matter, it's just a +2/+2 in vigilance. Same here, Vow of Malice. +2/+2, has Intimidate, and can't attack you or a planeswalker I control. So Intimidate means it can't be blocked except by artifact and creatures that share colors with it. Too many weird abilities. But anyway, like, I always get confused with Intimidate, Malice, and we were talking about it, Skulk. Skulk's a pain in the neck too. So I should just find a way to put that in here just to be annoying. Another power up, Twisted Experiment. Enchanted creature gets +3 and -1. Pretty straightforward. Again, Zur is a 1/4, so that makes him a 4/3 still. Still a tough guy out there. Imperial Armor. This card has always been superly overpowered. Enchanted creature gets +X, where X is equal to the number of cards in your hand. I feel like I need to put that land in this deck that gives you colorless mana and you have no max hand size. But I don't know if that's gonna mana screw me on colors, because it's kind of hard to get all the colors out there sometimes. So that's something I've been... Reliquary Tower. So I've been toying with putting a Reliquary Tower in here. I might put it in there to try it for next time I go to the game store and play. Traveler's Cloak. As Traveler's Cloak comes into play, choose a land type. Enchanted creature has Landwalk of that chosen type. When Traveler's Cloak comes into play, draw a card. I played this 3 times the other night. Never remembered to draw a card. Always read your cards again. That way you know what the heck you're playing. So, yeah, I do need to play this deck more so I remember what all the cards do. So, Traveler's Cloak, making him unblockable commander. And, Flickering Ward. When you play Flickering Ward, choose a color. Enchanted creature gains protection from that color. Pay 1 white, return Flickering Ward to owner's hand. Okay. This card gets real fun with some of the artifact creatures in the deck. That when you play artifacts, like this guy. Okay, here I'm just gonna get into this. Okay. Like these guys here. Like Underworld Coinsmith. Whenever an Underworld Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life. I can pay a white and a black and 1 life. Each opponent loses a life. And then Grim Guardian, when he comes into play or another enchantment enters the battlefield under my control, each opponent loses a life. So essentially for 2 mana, I can trigger these guys and keep gaining a bunch of life or keep draining my opponents for life. So I have done that in playtesting. It has come up, and it's fun to just bleep, 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 bleep. But I have not had that happen in a real game, and I'm waiting for that to happen. So that'll be a good time when that goes off. So we'll do that. 2 enchantment creatures. So again, searchable by Zur. All this stuff isn't, almost all this is enchantment so far too, so. This is one of my interesting oddball picks in the deck. An Opal Acrolith. When one of your, he's just an enchantment, comes out as an enchantment, but when one of your opponents successfully casts a creature spell, if it's an enchantment, it becomes a 2/4 creature that counts as a guardian. For 0, you can turn them back into an enchantment. So this is one of those interesting things where right before I wrath, or in response to someone wrathing the board, or, you know, killing everything on the board, I just turn it back into a creature. And then I have one sitting there waiting for when somebody else does something, because you know somebody's going to play a creature, and I can pop them right back onto the field. So, yeah, that's come in handy. I've blipped them back and forth quite a few times before. It's worked out really well for me, and I like those cards that flip, that change what they do, or change form. But again, it's a possible creature that I could search for, because again, it's 3 mana. Not too many creatures in this deck. We got a Duskmantle Seer. Flying at the beginning of your upkeep, each player reveals the top card of his or her library, loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost, then puts it in their hand. So, I have done so much damage with this guy the one time I got him into play, and I kept drawing lands, so that worked out real good for me. He's still a 4/4 flyer for 4 mana, which still is great value. Also, he is card draw. So it's like 3 good. I mean, I don't care that opponents are drawing cards too, but it's 3 great things. And I've done, like I said, serious damage with this thing before. I had somebody draw an Eldrazi off the top of their deck and took 10. I mean, it was great. Johnny's Chosen. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under my control, put a 2/2 white cat creature token into the battlefield. If that enchantment is an aura, you may attach it to the token. So again, a lot of fun with the flickering ward. Bleep, 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 bleep. You got a bunch of cats. Let's see, do I have any other creatures in here? Let's go through some more of the creatures. We got a Mesa Enchantress. Whenever I cast an enchantment spell, I can draw a card. Again, great with Flickering Ward. Sire Stagnation. This is in there for card draw. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library, and I draw 2 cards. Every time I've had this thing in play in any of my decks, I've drawn a ton of cards or stopped people from playing lands. If I have this out, and I like cast a Catastrophe or a Cleansing, killing all lands, how awesome is that? So that's good value there. And then I got both of these guys, the Monk Idealist and Auramancer. When they come into play, I can return an enchantment card from graveyard to my hand. They both do the same thing. So those of course are great to have in an enchantment deck. Why the hell wouldn't you? Oh, here's another. I got a couple of the random creatures, but let me clear this to the side real quick. Make room for the next part of the deck. We can put artifacts there. This here. Alright. One of my other fun board wipes and player damage. Pestilence. This is all unlimited Pestilence. God, the wording of stuff back then was terrible. 1 black. Do 1 damage to each creature and to both players. Pestilence must be discarded at end of any turn in which there are no creatures in play at end of turn. They used to say a lot of stuff about discarding things from play, or discarding a card. Nowadays, like, I'm sure so many people were confused back then where, you know, oh, there's no creatures in play, I have to discard this from my hand. But it means from play, that's why they totally changed that wording back then. So I'm sure a lot of people were playing it wrong back then, though. Alright, Mystic Remora. I get this out a lot of times on turn 1. So it's good to draw cards early. Cumulative upkeep 1. When target opponent successfully casts a non-creature spell, you may draw a card. That player may pay 4 to counter this effect. I've always drawn cards off this, especially in a 4-player game. Because everybody's playing Soul Rings and Artifact Mana and all this ramp stuff to get started in the beginning, and I'm just drawing a bunch of cards. So that's been good. This is probably the most expensive card in the deck. Replenish. Return all enchantment cards from my graveyard to play. Nothing more to say about that. Real good in a Xur enchantment deck. Trying this guy out, because he's kind of interesting. Artifacts and enchantments I control can't be the target of spells or abilities. So again, one of the reasons why I'm thinking to take out Karmic Justice, because if you can't target any of my stuff, you can't destroy it. So that's a good card to have in there. Of course, Demonic Tutor. Everybody knows Demonic Tutor. Again, one of the more expensive cards in the deck. This guy I'm not sure about. Takali Honor Guard. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Kind of shuts my stuff off. You know, my enter... Well, that's creatures entering the battlefield. I'm playing enchantments. So, I'm still torn if I want to keep this in there, because it can shut off a lot of the infinite combos that are always ending games in my group. So, I'm not sure how I fully feel about this or not. He's got a question mark on him. Okay, always no one expects these. Holy Day and Darkness. Basically, the white fog and the black fog. I played both of them in one game, back to back, and people are like, "What the hell? What is this?" So no one even expected this. Nobody even knows what these cards are in my group because they're Legends cards. So much fun when I play them to look at people's reactions because nobody sees that coming. So that's just something in there fun for me. I know doesn't make the toughest thing in there, but it does let me attack with everything that I have, let Zer's abilities kick off, and I'm still protected. So fun. Aura of Silence. Artifacts and enchantment spells cost target opponent an additional 2 to play. Sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So that's one of my deal with other enchantment spells because enchantments do wreck my day. Yeah. In fact, last time I played, an enchantment wrecked my day. Somebody played Dictator Erebos. Again with that rat deck. And kept sacking off creatures so I couldn't keep Zer on the table. So I needed ways to deal with that. So I'm thinking about adding some other enchantment destructions, and I'm going to show you that at the end. So again, stick around till the end because I will be needing your help to do a little bit of deck tech. Alright, Pariah. Redirect enchanted creature, all damage dealt to you. I'm trying to figure out a way, or some ways to do some indestructible creatures. Because Pariah on Indestructible, I can't be killed. In fact, I didn't realize that I had Pariah in the deck last time I played, and I animated dead someone's Ulamog, which of course is indestructible. But I played Pariah on Zer as his attack trigger, so if I would have animated his Ulamog first and put Pariah on Ulamog, I would have won because he was playing red and he couldn't do anything about it. About all those enchantments. So I felt real dumb because I didn't realize what I had in the deck. I know now, and I'm gonna build around that. Blind Obedience, again one of my damage cards with Extort. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, again making it easier for Zer to get through again. And Extort, life gain and damage. Soul Barrier. That's always a fun card. Whenever target... Okay, this has been errated. It's whenever any opponent casts a summon spell, Soul Barrier deals 2 damage to that player. That player may pay 2 mana to prevent this damage. So it slows people down a little bit. Who broke the music? Slows people down a little bit, but also... can deal damage. So oh my god, I wrecked someone's day with this. Breathstealer's Crypt. Whenever any player draws a card, he or she reveals that card. If that card is a creature card, that player pays 3 life or discards that card. Well, I play that against creature decks, which most decks are creature based nowadays. Of course I'm enchantment based, so it doesn't affect me most of the time. Good times. Spirit Link. This one I'm toying with taking out, even though I've gained a ton of light off Spirit Link. Basically gives a creature lifelink. There's questions that we have around this. If you have lifelink and you have this on your creature, do you gain double? Or is this card been errated? Let's check it out. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see, Oracle, Spirit Link. If I can spell. Enchanted creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. It doesn't say Spirit Link. So, alright, so you can have Spirit Link and you can have Life Link and gain double that life. So that's, wow, that's even better. Let me check something. Huh, interesting. I may have to keep this in somehow. Imprison in the Moon. This is always fun to do to somebody's commander. It turns their commander into a land. So, or Planeswalker. Enchanted creature, land, or Planeswalker becomes a colorless mana. So, that's always fun to watch them cry over that. Planar Void, whenever a card is put in the graveyard, remove that card from the game. Shuts off graveyard decks if I'm playing against them real quick. Legacy's Allure, this was always a fun card from the old days. During my upkeep, I put a treasure counter on Legacy's Allure. Sacrifice it, permanently gain control of target creature with power no greater than the number of treasure counters on Legacy's Allure. So anytime we would always go to like disenchant or destroy these, and anytime somebody would do that, we'd just sack it and take something because it's that instant speed. So real fun to get out early in the game. Steal Enchantment, gain control of Enchanted Enchantment. Again, another way for me to deal with enchantments that I can't mess with. As you can tell, I'm getting into the control part of the deck. My old unlimited control magic, so it's basically take control of somebody's creature. Mind Control, you control enchanted creature. Treachery. When it comes into play, untap up to 5 lands. You control enchanted creature, so free creature stealer. A black control magic. Pretty crazy, huh? When I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's weird enough for me to have, because no one expects a black control magic. So I control enchanted creature, but at the beginning of my upkeep, enchanted creature deals 1 damage to its owner. So it's a damage spell, too. Not much, but still it is. And confiscate, you control enchanted permanent. I steal planeswalkers with this. And right when they're about to ult is when I steal them. And then, we saw this earlier, illness in the ranks. Creature token gets -1/-1. So this deck has a lot of weird answers for things, which is why I like it. It just has a lot of flexibility to it, a lot of strange things. And as you notice, I haven't put a lot of the most commonly seen power cards into this deck. Because I get sick of people doing that kind of stuff. Let me see if I can get the focus a little better for us. Oh, that's worse. Nope, much worse, right? Yes, much worse. I should have left it alone, right? Because now we're going to get into editing the deck some. Let's see, will autofocus help us out and do it right? No. Man, what the heck? Should have left it alone, right? Alright, well that's a little bit better. So, cards I am thinking of taking out are... Where are they? Where is it? Steal Enchantment, possibly. Where was the other one? Spirit Link, possibly, but we kind of talked about that a little bit. And this guy, Takali Honor Guard. Oh, and Karmic Justice. So these are cards that I'm thinking about taking out of the deck. But replacing with... Watch this, ready. Karmic Justice will switch with Gift of Immortality, which... Let's see if the cards are still in focus. When enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of next end step. So it kind of gives an indestructible aspect to it. I'm also thinking of, for Spirit Link, putting Squire's Devotion in instead. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. Also, when this comes into the battlefield, I get a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. I think that's going to be a switch out. Let me see what's... Oh, hey, we got some chatters there. Oh, Restream.io is having problems. Thanks. I hope this is still coming through clear for everybody. Let's see. That's why I haven't streamed through Restream.io, because I am getting some lag here and things like that. So hopefully it's working okay for you guys. So, okay. A couple things here. With Steel Enchantment, I don't know if I want to steal them or destroy them. Because two cards I found. Aura Fracture. Sack a land to destroy target enchantment. So, instant speed, no cost involved. It's fine. Versus... I can't even see it. Aronson's Aura. I can pay 1, sack an enchantment to destroy an enchantment, or pay 5 and counter target enchantment spell. So, we already know I don't need very much land in the deck, so it kind of gives me something to do with all the extra land. Because once I get to like 5 land, the rest is or 5 or 6. Well, technically 7 because of Cyclonic Rift. I don't know what to do. Somebody tell me what to do, because I'm not sure what to use. So we'll kind of put both of these here, and then Tulkani Honor Guard. I mean, Oblivion Ring, which, when it comes into play, remove another target non-land permanent from the game. When Oblivion Ring leaves play, bring it back into play. So that, I know it's a power card, but at the same time, I've never been impressed by it because I don't like the ability that they can still get their stuff back. And then Extinguish All Hopes is something, I haven't been able to find this card yet, but it's destroy all non-enchantment creatures, which is definitely good for me because most of my creatures are enchantment creatures. So I'm not exactly sure what to do, what to take out, what to keep there, but I think for sure I'm going to switch these and see how that works, because I think that that is a good trade out. We'll just put that to the side. Karmic Justice. I'm going to pull that out. Put in Gift of Immortality. So now it's down to these two. What do I do here? Usually I like stealing enchantments instead of destroying them. Then that deals with indestructible too. So, gosh. I had a couple of destroy enchantments too. So maybe I should just leave that alone for now. And keep Steel Enchantment in there and figure out what I'm going to do here. Man, what is happening to the music? That's what I get for trying something new, right? You know, okay, so that's something weird that I've been getting on a lot of websites lately, is that they've been having problems loading the website, so it reloaded it. I was getting that a lot on my phone the other day too. So I don't know what the deal is with Safari lately. Dark Steel Mutation. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Jebber Dog. Appreciate that. Do I have a Dark Steel Mutation? No. Let me look up what the heck that is. Because that sounds familiar, and I know it's going to be indestructible. Dark Steel Mutation. Images. Enchanted creature is an insect artifact with power and toughness 0-1 and has indestructible. Loses all abilities. I did not put that in there. Now, are you saying to put that in there to give one of my own creatures indestructible so that I can throw Pariah on it? Or are you saying that to mess with their creatures on your opponent's commander? You know what I used on my opponent's commander that they hated, and I don't know if you were here for that earlier. I used Imprison in the Moon. So I turned their commander, instead of an indestructible 0-1, I turned it into a land. And the look of defeat on people's face when I do that every time is always fun. So yeah, Imprison the Moon is in there instead. So that's what I do to their commander. Or I just steal it, because I don't know if you saw my control magic type stuff that I had in the deck. There's a good 4 or 5 control magics, and actually one of them does cost less than 3, so I can go get it for with Zer's ability. So, but I appreciate the feedback on that, because I was looking into Steel Mutation and I wasn't sure if I should put that in there or not. That was one of those I thought of, because it's kind of a removal. I can make something indestructible, so it kind of gives me some flexibility going either way. So it's definitely something that I'm thinking about dealing with. The question right now, though, is Tolkani Honor Guard. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Who's that? Unsnarled Pick Zero. Thanks for tuning in and talking about applesauce. What? So Tokali Honor Guard to shut down all the ETB effects, because people usually will ETB effect you to death. And I'm thinking about either putting in Oblivion Ring or Extinguish All Hopes to have a good board wipe, since most of my creatures are enchantments. So, or they're enchantment creatures. So I wasn't sure which one to put in instead, or if I should leave that in. So what are you guys' thoughts? Let's see. I'm also shuffling as we talk, because I am going to run some sample hands after after we do this. And oh, that's true too. Putting it on there, the opponent's commander as well, because Zur is flying, and again I'm killing him with commander damage with all the power-ups that I'm throwing on there too. So that's interesting. That is kind of interesting. But I'm doing some shuffling while we're thinking here. Leave him in. I think so too. The only thing is he's a card that I can't really search for, but I do have some decent card draw in there. And I don't know, with Extinguish All Hopes, should I replace Winds of Wrath with Extinguish All Hopes? We'll take out O-Ring. Maybe switch those two out for each other. Winds of Wrath destroys all creatures with no enchantments on them. So again, most of my creatures are enchantments. Extinguish all hopes destroys all non-enchantment creatures, which would destroy Zur, which has a bunch of enchantments. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I think I'm thinking too hard about it. So I'm doing some shuffling. We're gonna do some sample hands and do some sample plays and see what we come up with. Let me do some land shuffling here. I know everybody's gonna hate the way that I shuffle my cards in a minute for play testing, but after I split everything up like we just did, I will make 3 piles. And does anybody else do this, or am I alone? And God, why does my nose always itch when I do this? Stupid mustache. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Every third card is a land when I do this. So every time that I've split up a deck, I will do this, and then of course shuffle it a lot afterwards. Otherwise, I get all kinds of crazy mana pockets, and you can't even play test the thing correctly. So, am I the only one that does this, or does anybody else do this too? So yeah, like I said, I really want to start playing this deck more often. I felt like it was one of those decks that was, every time I bring it out, everybody's like, "Oh, you're playing Zur." But, you know, I have a few decks that are like that, where people hate it, or they just don't understand what the heck I'm doing anymore. But I'm known for playing all the weird stuff at my local game store. So, and I like that. I mean, I always play the unexpected. If Magic is always expected plays for everything, it's boring because you're playing against if there's no surprises in it, there's no point in playing. So, I like to surprise people. I like to surprise myself with jank cards that actually work. This is one of the reasons that I hate Standard. I played Standard couple weekends ago. I think I talked about it on one of the other shows, and I hadn't played Standard for like 15 years. And I'm like, well, you know, new sets came out, I'm gonna try some new ideas, and they were solid ideas, but I literally played against all the same internet type decks that I've seen, and I freaking hated it. I hated life. I hated the game. Don't play Standard. Play Commander. It's more fun. You get to goof around a lot with more people, and every game is different. Literally, the people I played against, their deck did the exact same thing every single time, and it was so boring. But I understand that that's the format, and that's the kind of competition that's expected in it. I mean, I know Commander can get stupid competitive as well, and there's a few people at my local store that get crazy competitive with it. But they're no fun to play with. So if you're not having fun, why play the game? That's always been my thing. If we're not having fun, shut it off. So you got to go in lighthearted with everything you do, and that's what I do. And that's why I have so much fun playing games, and that's why I've always had so much fun playing games. I can get crazy competitive if I want to, but I don't want to, and I don't want to just copy other people's ideas. I like to bring in fresh, weird stuff. Like if you tuned in with my stream a couple weeks ago when I did my Animar deck, people are like, "Oh God, Animar, you're gonna win like second turn." No, I play a deck that I made up that was called Animartifacts. Every creature in the deck is an artifact, and it plays really stupid. Yeah, modern is something I haven't played either, because the term modern makes no sense to me versus Standard. Okay, this is something that I talked about last time. Last time I was at the shop, was that modern to me means modern. Modern means new. That means the newest card sets that have come out. No, that's not what modern means. That's what standard means. Modern means standard plus, like, back to what, 8th edition? Or something stupid like that? So the terms don't make sense. See, I used to play all that when it was Type 1, Type 1.5, and Type 2. Type 2 was all the new stuff, Type 1.5... So type 2 was like standard, Type 2 was like, or Type 1.5 was like modern, and Type 1 was like legacy? If I had to put it to something, I'm not sure if it's legacy or vintage. I get confused about those two as well. I think vintage lets you play the Power 9, legacy does not. If I'm correct, I may be wrong. Again, I don't really play those formats, so I don't really pay attention too much. But yeah, modern and standard, you get the terms backwards. So who's ready to run this deck and see what it does? Let's run some sample hands. Shall we? So we'll put Zur in the corner. No, we'll put Zur down here. Put the deck down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's try it out here. We got 2 land, a Mystic Remora, Soul Barrier, Pariah, Mind Control. That's a decent start. So what I'm going to do first turn is, well, draw, of course. I'll play an Island and a Mystic Remora. So second turn, I'm going to cumulative upkeep. We're assuming nobody played any Soul Rings. Draw a card. Get a swamp. I'm assuming turn 2 somebody plays something, so I'm going to draw that 1 extra card. Draw a card for turn. 1, 2, let this die, because I want to start playing things because I have 3 mana open. And with 3 mana, we'll hit a Soul Barrier. So creatures now cost everybody 2 mana more, or they take 2 damage. Already starting to hurt people early. Becoming the target. Draw a land. There's one of my cycling lands. I will just play it tapped. And I would have nothing to deal with there. So I would just take a bunch of damage from cheapy creatures in the beginning. And draw. Nope. So we are up to 5 mana already. So at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll put out Zur, hope he doesn't get killed. Go to next turn. So it's a little slower start. I like to hang back in the beginning with this deck and don't look too intimidating until Zur starts attacking, and then things start to get stupid. So let's see. I will 1, 2, 3 for a Squire's Devotion, that new card that we switched out. So now he's a 2/5 with lifelink, and I get an extra creature to protect myself. Attack with Zur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 cards in hand. Start searching the deck for fun stuff. At this point, I would probably, because I have 6 cards in hand, I can really start wrecking somebody's day fast if I put a let's see. So if it's a graveyard deck, Planar Void of course comes out. If it's a token deck, I put that Illness in there. If it's been early in the game and really there's no creatures out, I would put Legacy's Lure. Kind of really depends. But I'd probably put Imperial Armor on him and hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I have 6 cards in hand, plus that 7, 8, and gain 8 life. On turn 5, So all those cheapy creatures that were coming at me, and I'm the target already, starting to gain life. So, moving up in the world there. And then that only cost me 3 mana, so let's see. I'd probably tutor. Why not Demonic Tutor? I mean, it was in my hand. Let's tutor for... I do this a lot. Tutor for a land. I'll tutor for a plains. And the reason why, because I need to play a plains, because a lot of the cards in my hand take more than 1 white. That's something I was kind of thinking of messing with in this deck too, is the land colors. So I feel like I don't play as many black cards as I do white cards. But I know the second I start switching stuff around like that, I'm going to mess up everything. So right now the mana base is pretty even on all colors. But again, I got the extra... Oh, I should have got the extra blue. Anyway. So we got that. Next turn. Bleep, blop, bloop. Bleep, bleep. I'm at a bunch of life already. Oh, there he is. So I can shut off somebody. But I would play probably in a Johnny's Chosen. Okay. And attack with Zur again. And go get another enchantment. So that I get a cat token as well. So yeah, I do like this. I'm glad I found that today. I do like that card. So depending on what's going on, Blind Obedience possibly. Should I gain more life with Underworld Coinsmith? Should I protect myself with Propaganda? Shoot. I'm just going to put a twist... Or wait, let's see. How many enchantments do I have out? 1, 2, 3. We'll give it a plus on attack to give me even more life. So let's see. He's attacking now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've done 18 commander damage to someone and keep getting creatures. And I've gained another 8 life. This is actually a decent run here for a test run. I'm just gonna do it one more turn, and then we'll try it one more time to see what we'd get last out of it. So again, running some tests to see what happens. So I get a Dance of the Dead off that draw. So nothing really to, well, no. Attack. Go get an enchantment creature, right? Enchantment creature this time. And where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? This guy, Grim Guardian. So make a cat token off that, and everyone loses a life, and then play. I still have all my mana, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could 1, 2, 3. Throw Pariah on that. Play an Honor Guard. And yeah, so that was a good run. That was a good test. I like the new cards I put in there. So let's try one more test run with that, and see how we like the changes. Again, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in to hang out with me and all the feedback that I've gotten so far. So thanks, guys. So let's do one more test hand. See where we go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I got worried there. I thought I was not going to have enough land. So we got 2 land, a propaganda, illness in the ranks, traveler's cloak, necromancy, and a replenish. That is a good start. Let's see what the first draw is. And it's a holy day, so protected. So, of course, I always like to play the tap lands first turn. So Vivid Creek, draw the next card, play plains. Just put illness in the ranks. Oh no, I don't have black yet, so don't bother. So next card, draw 3. There we go, 3. Play propaganda. Give me another land. Nope. I will get a key rune. Just building and protecting. That's turn 4. Turn 5. Play a polluted mire. Might have to put less cycling lands in there. Not sure. But we'll play Zur. Hope he survives. Draw. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now it starts getting ugly. Because Zur's attack triggers. Go get... it's later in the game. So what would I get late game? Because somebody's probably going to kill him soon, so I need to protect, right? So if I'm protecting... What's in my hand again? Okay, if I'm protecting... I get a Grim Guardian to do some extra damage. And then I pay 3 for a Traveler's Cloak. And remember to draw this time off a Traveler's Cloak. I gotta confiscate. So that's awesome for next turn. Shut down tokens. Oh, that shuts down my own tokens. Maybe that was a bad idea. No, because I'd only play that for emergencies anyway. And I'm holding on to a holy day in case somebody comes after me with their creatures. So, drawing. Get another land. 7 mana. So attack with Zur again. And let's see. This is where I'd start probably powering them up. Giving them lifelink. Let's see. Do that. Get the token, but the token dies. Because all creature tokens get -1/-1. See, that's... This, I don't appreciate this. At all. That's interesting. See, it's a good thing I played this together. So I may put Spirit Link back in there. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Deck fell over. Alright, draw the next card after gaining some life. And see, this is a... Okay, so I'm going to cycle that away. Finally. Draw a card. Get a command tower. See, gotta get past the lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean... Alright, so I pretty much got a good setup here, because I can steal anything, I can bring it back from the graveyard, all my stuff can come back. I have protection, and I got a demonic tutor. So it's like I got answers for a lot of stuff right now. So I think that kind of proved itself that it is a solid deck. Either way I do it. I'm not sure about this together though. It just makes me have to double think playing this. Again, playing it if somebody's running away with tokens. But it does give +1/+1 and lifelink. So that's good either way versus just Spirit Link for 1 mana. Maybe I'll find a way to run both of them because again, we learned Spirit Link and lifelink you can do together. Because you can't double lifelink a creature, but you can lifelink and Spirit Link are 2 different things. So we'll see what I do with that in the future. But I think you kind of get an idea what the deck does. It pretty much searches for answers to whatever's happening on the board, shuts it down, and then runs away with the game and commander damage. So, well, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Tomorrow I will be playing World 8, finally, of Super Mario Bros. 3. I got through the entire game with no warp whistles, and I'm finally on World 8. So I'm gonna hopefully finish that game tomorrow, and then get into some new stuff. I don't know, I might play some more Mario games because I know a lot of people have been watching me play that. I also, let's cross the room here. I also drug out this bad boy today, my old PSP. So this thing, I've been having a ton of fun with it today. So, and I know that there's a way to make this thing play through your computer screen. So I might have to toy with that to see if I can play some cool PSP games for you guys. Again, trying to do some new stuff, trying to have some fun. Tuesday nights are always Magic nights, and I reveal my commander decks and work on them. So come see me again next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, Wednesdays, 9 o'clock, Thursdays, 9 o'clock, and Sundays we do reruns. And I'm looking to expand the network again because unfortunately Sterling and Doug have too much in life going on. Doug just got engaged. Sterling is just getting overwhelmed with work and life and stuff like that right now. So I'm working on getting some other people to join the streaming channel here. But keep tuning in, keep following, and I'll see you next time where the gaming never ends as long as you press continue. Bye!